Hi, I'm Sajid and today I will be talking about basics of Python. So about the history, I won't go into details. You can get this history from, or you can read this history that when Python was invented and how it was named. So I will move to Python keywords. So there are certain keywords in Python which you shouldn't use in your code or variable or in assigning names to the functions or classes. So these are the Python keywords. So you can make a list of these keywords, and you should keep in mind that you shouldn't use these keywords in your code. Now then we have Python identifiers. Python identifiers are maybe the functions or the classes or the variables names, and there are certain rules which you need to follow whenever you're naming your Python classes, functions or variables. So these rules are the first rule is that it can be combination of letters, uppercase letter or lowercase letter. It can be combination of integer values and numeric values and alphabets, right? And one thing you should keep in mind that you should never start a variable name, a function name or class name with a digit, right? So one variable, this will be invalid, while variable one it's fine. Other than this, as I told you before, that keywords cannot be used as identifiers. Similarly, you cannot use special symbols like at the rate or hashtags in your variable names or in function names or in your class names. And there is no specific length. You can use any length, but you should keep in mind that the naming whenever you are going to name anything, it should be meaningful. Let's suppose you shouldn't name your variable as x1 or x2. Instead it should be it should have some meaning, and the developer or the programmer who will be reading your code should be able to understand by the variable name that what it was meant for. And some things you need to keep in mind is that Python is a case sensitive language, and so variable with a capital V and variable with a small v are not same. So if you talk about Python variables use anything like if you can initiate a variable, you can assign you can initiate variables without declaring it. So in maybe in C++ or in other language, you have to declare a variable and then that value will be initiated. But in Python, you just start by just assigning some value to it, and you can assign any value to a variable using equal to operator. Now about the Python data types. These are the data types, like the first is integers, then floats, then we have strings. So let's see about what are integers. So if I use some example, let's say z equal to 5 divided by 2, and if you want to execute this cell, you can press and shift plus enter, and then if you want to see, okay, so this is integer division. Like, so this value z is 2, so it's an integer value. Now if I talk about the float, the value like 5 divided by 2, oh, let me write here, print. So in the above cell you can see that the value is an integer value. We don't have any float value, but here the value of z is 2.5. Since 2.5 is a decimal number or it's a float number, so you can say that the data type of z is float. Now after float we have another data type, that is strings. So we can initiate strings using single inverted commas or double inverted commas, or even triple inverted commas. Let me give you examples. Let's suppose my string equal to I am Sajid. Okay, and if I print, so this is a string, my string. I have saved in my string variable, and its value is I am Sajid. Now let's give another example. So I can also initiate this string using single inverted commas. Now what if I want to write that I have been working in ML for more than 10 years. So if you see that if I use single inverted commas, then I cannot write inverted commas inside my string. So in this scenario I have to use double commas or double inverted commas, or because if I just enclose this string into a single inverted comma, I will get an error, invalid syntax. Similarly, you will get cases where you will need to include double quoted or double quotations inside a string. So in that scenario, you will have to enclose your string in a triple or three inverted commas. Let me give an example. He said to me, I won't come tomorrow. Okay, so if I write this, I will get an error. So instead of double inverted commas, I will enclose this string into a triple inverted commas or three. Okay, so this is about writing the strings. Okay, that's it. So these are the basics about the data types, and then we have Python comments. So Python comments just start with hashtag. So Python, whatever you're writing in a comment, it won't be executed, right? So let's suppose if I write I am just writing a comment. So you see that nothing is executed. Usually Python comments are used to help the developers. So let's suppose if I am initializing a variable, I will just write in comment that I will just write in comment about the variable, that what's the purpose of writing this variable, or if I'm writing some function, maybe I will write in comment the purpose of writing the function. Let's suppose I say I write I'm just explaining variable types. So this is my command, and then here and I can write any code. So this is about comment. You can write a single line comment, or you can even write multiple line comments. So if you're just writing, you can use hashtag for single line comment, or maybe you can also use like you can use hashtag for multiple line comments. But usually if you're having a comment having multiple lines, so it's better that you use quotes, you use inverted commas. So let's say I am a comment. I am writing these functions for. So this is one way that I write the comment. The other way is that I just enclose all these comments in my inverted commas, but that will be triple inverted commas, or I can just so I hope that you understood that how you can write the comments. So you can either use hashtag, or you can use these inverted commas 3 times to write a comment. So after this we have Python collections. In Python collections we have different things, like we have list, we have tuples, we have dictionaries. So now we will start with list. So basically Python lists are mutable. Mutable means that you once you initialize a list, you can change the values in a list. So let me write some list here. Let's say a equal to, so a is my variable, and I will be saving a list in my variable a. Or let's say I say list 1 equal to, so this is the method to write a list. So I can write any data type inside a list. I can write maybe integer value or string value, or I can write different data types inside a list, 3, 4, 5, right? So this is a way that you can write you can enter the elements of a list. So list 1 is a list, and these are the elements of a list, 3, 4, 5. So these are different elements inside a list. And if I just print my list is list 1. So here you can see that this is my list is printed here. Now these are the different operations which we can perform with a list. So we can append elements to a list, we can sort a list, we can reverse a list. So let's take this list and let's see that what we can do. So the first thing is that how we can append in a list. So list 1, I have already showed you that what was list 1. So list 1 has 4 elements, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now the first operation which we will perform here is append. Now I will show you that how we can append any element to a list. So let's say that I want to append some element to list 1. So what I will do, list 1 dot append. Let's say I want to append 100, and let me print list 1 again. So now you can see that 100 is appended to the end of the list. Initially, like when we started the list, we just had 4 elements, 3, 4, 5, 6. But now since we have used the append operation, and you can see here that add element x to the end of a list. So append will always append an element to the end of a list. If I append another element, it will add another element in the end. Let's say I append 0. So now you can see that now our list underscore 1 has 6 elements. Now the second operation which we can perform is the sort. So there can be scenarios in which you want to sort a list. So how we can do list dot sort. Okay, if I just write list 1 dot sort, so now here you can see that after applying the sort function or sort operation, my list is sorted, right? Now you can have different option or different parameters here. So instead of maybe 0, I can add ascending order or descending order in this sorting. So I won't go into details. I am just covering the basics. You can see different variations of these operations on Google, or you can have different documentations. So I won't go into details because it will take a lot of time. So another operation is reverse, that how you can reverse a list. So let's say list 1 dot reverse. Okay, I forgot. I think yes. Okay, so now you can see that list 1 is reversed now. Now the 100 element is it's the first element, and then so it just reversed the, I would say that the location of the elements or index of the element. It is not doing the reversion based on some element value, rather it is just doing it is just reversing the elements based on their locations or index values. Okay, so we have covered list sorting, reverse a list. Let me rearrange it. Okay, now the next thing is return index. So here you can see that we can use this dot index to return index of any element. Let's suppose I want to see index of this element 5, right? So here I can see that the index of 5 will be 0, 1, 2, 3. It should be 3. You should keep one thing in mind, that Python index starts with 0. So the index of 5 should be 0, 1, 2, 3. No, sorry, yeah. So since the updated list is this one, it's reversed. So the index of 5 should be 0, 1, 2. So let me see if I get this value. List 1 dot index. Here I will just mention the element value. So yeah, so you can see that the list 1 dot index has returned me index value of 2. If I want to see value of 0, it should give me 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let me check. Yep. So this is how we can get an index of an element if the value is known. Now the next thing is insert. Now what if we want to insert element in some specific position? In start we have seen that what append was doing. So whenever we were using append, it was appending an element to the end of a list. But what if we don't want to append an element to the end? Instead we want to append an element in center or in some other position. So we can use insert operation to perform the insertion. So let's say new list equal to list 1 dot insert. What's the, yes, so here I will use two parameters. The first is index and the other is the value. So let's suppose I want to insert 200 and I want to insert in at index 3. So as ix, so 3 and then 230 or whatever value we want to insert. So that value should be inserted. Let me check. Okay, so here that value is inserted in index 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, and all the like all the other values are automatically shifted to the right. So before this insertion, this was our list 165, and now you can see that at index 3 we had a value of 4, but now that 4 value, there's something wrong here. Okay, so I think in the 230 was inserted 3 times. So now this was a list before insertion, and after insertion 230 we have this new list. And now if I want to insert some new value, so I can simply maybe I want to insert some value of maybe 5 or 50 in at index 3. So now let me check. So now you can see that before insertion of 50 we had 230 at index 3, but now after insertion we have 50 at index 3, and now 230 has moved to the right. Okay, so this is about insertion. And now the next thing is the count. So returns the number of occurrence of x in list. Let's suppose if you want to get let's suppose we want to list 1 dot count, and we want to get occurrence of maybe 5. Okay, so since 5 is only present there once, so we are having a value of 1. Let me add some more values of 5. So maybe instead of, so now you can see that there are 2 values for 5, and if I run it again, the count will, it's showing me the count of 5 as 2. So this is about count. And now the next thing is remove. So remove will remove any element which we will mention in the parameter, in the argument. Let's suppose we want to remove list 1 dot remove. Let's suppose we want to remove 100 or maybe 50. Let's see. So now you can see that 50 is not there anymore. Or what if I want to remove 5? So if I mention 5 here, it will only remove the first occurrence of 5. Print list 1. So here you can see that the first occurrence of 5 was removed from here. So remove will only remove the first occurrence of any element here. Now the next thing is pop. So here I can simply provide index value. Let's, instead of now element value, I will just provide the index value here. So list1 dot pop. So maybe if I just enter 2, so here I can see that at index 2 5 was present and it was popped using this operation. And if I see the list, updated list, now 5 is removed from this list. So I can also use pop to remove an element, but pop usually takes the index of an element. So this is about list. One more thing, or maybe one more thing, which, or one or two more things which I need to add here is number of elements. So I can get number of elements in a list using len. So len is used to get the length of the length of the list. So here you can see, since we have 6 elements here, 1 2 3 4 5 6, so the length of the list is 6. Now the next topic is tuples. So tuples are almost like list, but the major difference between tuples and list are that tuples are non-mutable. When I'm saying non-mutable, it means that once I initialize a tuple, I cannot change the value of the element inside a tuple. So let's write some examples. So I will use the same tuple 1 equal to, I will use the same same elements which I used for the list. So this is the difference between initializing a list and a tuple. So we can use square brackets for the list, but we have to use parentheses to initialize a tuple. Now there are different operations of tuples which we can do here. So the first operation is index. So what we can do here, that what if I want to get the index of element 5? So tuple 1 dot index, here I will just write the value maybe 5, and it will return me the index. So here you can see that the index of 5 was 2, so it just returned me 2. Now the second operation is count. It's almost similar to the list, that it will return me the count of element. Let's suppose I want to see, let me change, let's say I have 5, maybe, or 6, or just to give you some insights. Let me add 6 here at a different position, so you could get a different, you could get that which element is being like counted, or it won't work here for the count, but later on when we will see the delete option, no, since we are not using the remove, so it won't work here. But anyway, so we were talking about the count, right? Yes. So let's say we want to see the number of occurrence for 6. So here I have to update tuple 1, and then you can see the occurrence of 6 is 2, and it is giving me this result 2. And the next operation is length. It's similar to the length of the list, length of tuple 1. So since we have 5 elements in this tuple 1, so it is returning 5. Now the next thing is min. Basically this min is also used, min, max, or these operations are also used in list, which I haven't mentioned. So there are a lot of operations which you can search on Google. I am just covering the basics. Tuple 1. So you can see, since the min value is in the entire list is 3, so it just return you this list. Similarly, we can get the max value. So the max value is 6, so it just returned me 6. And if I just want to remove the entire tuple, I can simply use delete and then tuple 1. So tuple 1 is deleted. If I want to see it again, it will give me an error. So it is saying that tuple 1 is not defined here. So this is about tuple operations. The next thing is dictionaries. So by dictionary, you might have something in mind, like we have some vocabulary dictionaries for English, or some like Arabic or some other language. So what we have in dictionaries, we have some keys and values. So if you want to search some word in a dictionary, what you search by the word, and then you have some meaning against that word. So the same is the case in dictionaries in Python. So we have keys, and then we have values against those keys. So here we have just mentioned one example, that if you want to search a student by his ID, so student ID can be the key, and then there are different attributes of student. Let's suppose CGPA, GPA, number of subjects he is studying, or the class he is studying. So there can be multiple values assigned to a single key. So now there are different ways to initialize a dictionary. So you can search, you can see, maybe when you write the code, you will see different ways that how you can write how you can initialize a dictionary. So you can initialize an empty dictionary, and then you can populate it with keys and values. So here I will just give you an example. I will just copy. So this is my dictionary price. It's just a variable name, but basically price is a dictionary, and it has multiple keys and multiple values. So we have a key apple, we have another key orange, and then we have another key banana. So let's suppose you want to get the price of any fruit. So you can write a dictionary, and in this dictionary you can assign values to different keys. And if I want to print okay, let's suppose if I want to see the cost of some specific fruit, let's of maybe apple. So apple cost, so here I will just write the name of the dictionary, and from that name I will just put the key, that is apple. So I should get the price of an apple here. So here you can see that the apple price is shown when I tried to get the apple value through its key. So this is how you can write a dictionary. And now we can also do different operations with a dictionary. And one more thing, the dictionary is mutable. Mutable means that you can change the values after initializing it. So let's suppose I want to change the value of maybe I want to change the key, maybe I want to change the value of apple, I want to change the price of the apple. So what I can do, I will simply write price here, apple. So whatever value I had, I will just overwrite it with maybe 34. Okay, and if I want to print the value of the apple again, the cost of the apple again, so you can see that the cost of the apple is changed. So this is how you can change the value of any key key. And the next thing is insert key value pair. So in the price dictionary we just had three keys and three values, or maybe I would say that three fruits. What if I want to add more fruit, one more fruit? So I can simply add the fruit, like maybe I want to add grapes. I can change the value. I can not change. I'm just initializing the value, so it can be maybe 15. So one thing you should keep in mind, that in values I can write anything. I can write integers, floats, strings, whatever I want to write, or even I can in the values I can assign some list, or maybe another dictionary, another so I won't go into detail, but you can in place of values you can write different things. So for now I'm just writing grapes, the price of the grapes. And if I see my updated dictionary, let me see. So here you can see that the grapes key is added, and the value is also added with the grapes key. So we have changed the value and we have added new pair, key value pair. Now the last thing is related to dictionary, that how we can delete a key value pair. Let's say I want to remove orange key. Let's say I'm selling fruits and I don't have oranges anymore today, so I don't want to occupy the space in my database for the orange, so I will simply remove the orange from here. I can remove the del keyword to remove the key value pair. So I'll just mention the name of the key and it will automatically delete the key and the value. If I show you the updated price, so you can see that now in the price dictionary we don't have oranges anymore. So we have discussed that how we can assign, how we can initialize a dictionary, how we can change the values, how we can add a new key value pair, and how we can delete a key value pair. Now the last thing is that how we can delete an entire dictionary. So it's we will simply price dot clear. It will remove the entire dictionary from our workspace. So if I want to access the price dictionary, it will give me an empty dictionary here. So basically it will delete all the entries. It will not delete the variable or the dictionary name. Instead it will delete all the entries that were present in the price dictionary. Or another way is that I can just initialize, I will just assign empty braces to my price dictionary. Let me show you. Let's suppose I had this dictionary here, or maybe delete. So if I print the price, it's here. And what if price equal to, and if I print it again, so all the elements are deleted. So I think this is a better way, that if you want to clear the elements, you should write price dot clear. But another way can be that you just assign an empty bracket to the price. Now these are the different operations which we can perform for with the dictionary. So let me start the dictionary again, and let me add some other so this is my dictionary, and the first operation which I can perform here has key. So if I want to check if price has key, and here I will just mention the name. Let's say I want to see if the price has some value of Sajid. So it will not return anything. And what if I write orange? Okay, so the syntax has changed in Python 3. So this syntax hash key was being used for Python 2, but in 3 that syntax has been changed to this one. So if I want to see that if I have the key present in my dictionary, I can write this one. So since orange key was already in the price dictionary, so it will return me true. And if I want to see some, if I just give some other name, let me check. So instead of orange, I just write Sajid. So it will give me it will return false. So it means Sajid key is not here, not present in the dictionary. So I will just remove this one. And there can be other methods to check the keys. So the one method is in, let's say if Sajid in price, print key is present. I will show you that how you can use if else, but here I am just writing it to give you examples. Else key not present. So since the key Sajid is not here, so it is printing the second statement. So if I just change it to apple, so since apple key was present in the dictionary price, so it will return me key is present. So the next thing is in. Yes, so I have already showed you that how we can use in the dictionary. And then the third operation which is mentioned here is the keys. If I want to see the keys for dictionary, I can see get all keys. So what I can write, price dot keys, and it should return me all the keys, right? So these are the keys which I have in my price dictionary. Now same is the case with the values. Return all values. So here you can see that we got all the values. And what if I want to see the keys and the values together? So key value pair items. So it will give me a tuple. It will return me keys and values in a tuple. So I have shown you before that what a tuple is. So a tuple is usually enclosed in a parenthesis in a bracket. So it will give you 1, 2, 3, 4 tuples, and each tuple for each key value pair. So we have another operation which we can perform on dictionary, that is dictionary.getKey. So it will return its value if a key is present, otherwise it will just return default value. So let me what's the syntax? Syntax is dot get. Okay, so we can define what is a default value. We can give any default value here. So price dot get, let's say the key is apple, and the default value is maybe I want to just give 0. So you can see that since the apple key was already there, so it returned me its price or the value, value of that key. What if I want just write some random number here, glass? So since I don't have a glass key here, so I will just get a default value here. For default value I can assign any number, maybe instead of numeric value I can just return some string, not found. So since class is not here, so it just returned me a default value, and I have already defined my default value as not found, so it just returned me not found. So this is about dictionary. So we have seen that how we can initialize a dictionary, how we can change a dictionary, how we can add more key value pairs in a dictionary, how we can remove elements from a dictionary, how we can remove entire elements from a dictionary, and then we also discussed about different operations which we can perform on any dictionary. So I hope that you understood what we have done for till now. And now this next topic is sets. So it's also a simple like simple topic. So it's I would say similar to list, but in list we have we can have duplicate values, but in set we don't have any duplicate values. So you can simply initialize a set by, let me or even you can change a list to a set, or and then you can do vice versa. So I won't go into much detail for the set. I will just show you that how we can initialize a set, and then what basic actions we can do with a set. So you can simply initialize a set using just like tuple, if you remember about tuple. If not, you can simply rewind this video to see what we have discussed about the tuple. So this is a set. We can add any element, but just comma separator element 5 6 2 1 7. Okay, and you can see that we have inserted different values here, but when I will print that set, it will remove the duplicate values. So although I have multiple values for 1, I have multiple occurrence for 2, but it has just removed the duplicates, and it just returned me 1 2 3 5 6. Or what if okay, so we can also change a list to a set. So let's say we had a list. If we go to the list section, we had this list 1, right? So let me just see if I have any duplicate values in list 1. So we don't have any duplicate values, so let me add some duplicate values in list1 dot append. Let me append 6. And if I print the list again, so here you can see that now we have two, the number of occurrence of 6 is 2, so we have 6 two times in our list. Now if I change it to set 1 equal to a set, and I will simply put list1. So here you can see that now there is only 1 6 in the set, in the resultant set. So this is one way. If you want to remove the duplicates from a list, you can simply convert that list into to a set, and then you can convert back a list to you can convert back a set to a list, and duplicates will be removed. Okay, so you have seen that how we can create a set. We can create a set from scratch, or we can also change some other data type, some other like from a list. We can get a set from a list too. So these are different operations which you can perform on a set. I won't go into details of this. You can try these operations by yourself, and if you get any issue, then definitely you can mention in the comment section, and then I will maybe I will make a short video related to that operation, because you will get a lot of examples on the internet. But still, if you get some issue regarding these operations over the set, or even if you get any issue related to what we have discussed today, then you can you just feel free to comment out, to add in the comment section, or I will also share my email. You can also ask through email. So I think that is enough for today. Maybe in the next section we will in the next video we will discuss about loops, if else conditions. So today what we have discussed, I will just summarize. I've just discussed about the Python keywords, Python identifiers, rules for naming a variable, function, or a class, and then I discussed different data types, and then I discussed about the Python commands. Then we did something related to Python list, and then after list we had tuples, and then after tuples we have dictionaries, and then in the end we have sets. So we just we didn't go into detail about for the sets, but I have just provided you an image of all operations which we can perform on sets, and you can do it by yourself. So I hope that you understood what we did today. If you get any questions, any queries, just feel free to ask me. I will be happy to reply. And if you want me to give you a video on some specific topic, you can just mention in the comment, and I will see if there is like a lot of people are asking about some specific topic, then definitely I will try my best to make a video on that topic. Thanks a lot for your time. Bye.